to another video episode of my podcast. My name is Cheryl, and this is Cappuccino Crafts, where I like to chat about knitting and sometimes some crochet, and also books and TV and movies and things that I'm reading, watching, listening to, and other things that just capture my interest and I feel like chatting about and sharing with you. I am coming to you here from the Pacific Northwest in Washington State of the United States, and we are deeply into fall here, which I love. It's my favorite season. Well, spring is a very close second. But anyway, yeah, and that's where I live with my parents. I take care of them, and we all live in this house, and we also have one fluffy black cat named Stella, who is super adorable and fun. Yeah, so that's me. And where I'm coming to you from, and thank you for watching this video, and I really appreciate you choosing to spend a little of your time with me, and I hope you enjoy it. Please settle in, get comfortable, grab yourself the beverage of your choice, get your yarn, your hook, your needles, or maybe your fiber and your spindle or your spinning wheel, whatever you need. Let's settle in and have some crafty chat together. I wonder what you're working on now, either just in general right now, your works in progress currently, or what you're actually working on while you are listening or watching. I know when I'm watching podcasts, I listen a bit more than I watch with my eyes, because I need to watch what I'm doing a little bit. I can't knit without looking. I could practice it. That might be a good idea, to practice that and get good at it, but no, I can't. But yeah, I do look up when I know somebody's showing something that I really want to see, or anyway, but yeah. So my current projects, this has not been a super productive crafting week. Things have made some progress, but not a ton, and I haven't cast on anything new. So these are what I've been working on. My twin leaf fingerless mitts, and the thumb gusset is finished, and I've got the thumb stitches saved. I ran a little piece of crochet thread through, so the thumb is set apart now, and I'm working on finishing up the fingers. Well, they're not going to have individual fingers. It's a fingerless mitt style, but it will cover, this front will cover the fingers, and this will be the back. There's no patterning on the back, but that's fine. I kind of do the same with my socks too. I like having the pattern down the front of the leg and down the front of the foot, but I often keep the back half of the leg just plain, because sometimes if I'm using variegated yarn, which I often do for socks, because you can knit with any crazy colors and any crazy pattern yarn you want to for socks. So you can get away with all that. And it won't look weird on a sock. So I like to see how, especially a variegated yarn, looks different with a pattern versus just plain stockinette. Anyway, yeah, so that is the progress on that project. And here is the progress on my Victober Knit and Listen sweater that I'm working on. This is the top of a top-down sweater. It's just a little bit bigger. The sleeve is still connected to the front and the back. I haven't I haven't reached the full stitch count yet. So if I were doing a raglan or a circular yoke, I'm still just finishing the yoke. It is getting near to finished. I'm also doing the neck shaping for the front. So this is a cardigan, so it will not close. I mean, it will not, I'm not going to join and knit around. This is the pattern is my favorite color cardigan, and it is a free pattern from Knitty, the online knitting magazine, and all their patterns are always free, and all their back issues, they've been going for quite a number of years. I don't know what year they started, but they've been around for a lot of years, and all their back issues are still available, all the patterns on their website. So it's a great place to find some really interesting free patterns. This is a contiguous sleeve, so you increase here to do the top of the shoulder, and then you start doing the front and the back, and this is a sleeve cap. So it is a set-in sleeve style, and it should fit like a set-in sleeve. Yeah, and this is a new construction that I've never done the contiguous sleeve top down before. So it's not that difficult, and no. So if you are comfortable with top down, I recommend trying the contiguous and seeing if you like it. The yarn that I'm using for my sweater is Indie String. I got it years ago, maybe 3-4 years ago, and the colorway is Black Cherry, and I'm loving it. I love this color, and I love how it's knitting. This is a not superwash yarn, which I prefer for sweaters, although my boxy, which is on pause right now, I'm not going to show it because I haven't touched it in like since October started. So 2 weeks. I haven't done a single stitch. So I'm not going to show it today. But that is a superwash yarn, and I have used superwash yarns for sweaters before. But I am, for me, I prefer for a sweater non-superwash treated. yarn. It keeps its shape better. It doesn't grow in length the way that a lot of superwash yarns will when you knit them into a sweater, or pretty much a lot of things. If you knit something, a bigger project, it's gonna grow on you. Not so much wider, but in length, it can grow sometimes quite a bit. And that is why. Now, if you are sensitive to the prickle factor, non-superwash yarns can be more prickly. This definitely is not as smooth. When I'm knitting with it and when I touch it, it is not as smooth as a superwash yarn. But it's not, I wouldn't call it itchy. And I'm not very sensitive to that prickle and itch factor with wool, so that is not something that is a problem for me. So I don't have a difficulty wearing non-superwash next to my skin. Yeah. Now I probably wouldn't want to knit like a ripple bralette and wear nothing under it and wear it like actually like a bra. In non-superwash, I don't think that would be very comfortable. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. But anyway, I don't know why I felt the need to mention that. But I did. I probably won't edit it out. I'll probably let it stay in there. Anyway, so I hope it amuses you. I hope you found that amusing. If not, I'm sorry. Yeah, I apologize if that was not amusing. Anyway, so yeah, that is all the progress on crafting projects. It was kind of it was a full week, and I just had a lot going on, and I did not get as much crafting time as I would like. That happens to all of us. Yeah. Anyway, because this sweater is, I mentioned Knit and Listen, that this sweater is my knit and listen along project. And while I've been knitting that sweater, I have been listening to my book on Audible, which is the Knit and Listen Along chosen book is Adam Bede by George Eliot. She's a Victorian novelist, and this is the first book I tried to read Middlemarch years ago, and I got, I don't know, a third of the way, maybe halfway, somewhere, I know, maybe a third, and I just stalled and never went back to it. I did not finish it. I am going to finish Adam Bede. I am enjoying it. I am really into the story and the characters. So that is not going to be a problem this time. So I will finish my first George Eliot novel. And yeah, so Victober is reading in Booktube land on YouTube, the Booktube area of YouTube. Victober is reading Victorian literature in the month of October. And there are challenges and different things. It's hosted by some booktubers. And the Knit and Listen Along is a side project, a side activity in Victober, hosted by Mel of Mel's Bookland Adventures, and also about, well, there's four of them, four booktubers are hosting together. But Mel's the one that I watch. Although I have started watching Kate Howe. I'm enjoying her Victober vlogs. And she's been doing some Knit and Listen updates on her channel too. Kate Howe is her channel. The name of her channel and her name. I've been watching the Spinster's Library. She's been putting up some really interesting Victober videos too, and just catching some random Victober vlogs here and there, and really enjoying this Victober event and the Knit and Listen Along. Yeah, anybody who may be watching this video, or any of you viewers also reading for Victober this month, reading any Victorian literature, or are any of you participating in the Knit and Listen and reading Adam Bede and knitting or crocheting something? Yeah, I wonder if any of you guys are doing that. And if you are reading Victorian literature now, what Victorian literature are you reading? I'm only reading Adam Bede, right? Or listening reading to Adam Bede. That's the only book I am paying any attention to right now. Not any other Victorians, but I do really enjoy Victorian literature, and I'm adding to my Goodreads and my to be read wish list some Victorian books that I haven't heard about before. Yeah. So that's the reading. And I have been watching RuPaul's UK Drag Race, or Drag Race UK. They put the UK at the end. That started airing this month. I think 2 episodes have aired. And I'm also progressing with the final season of The Good Place, which I love that show. It is so weird and funny, and I love the writing. I love the cast. I love everything about it. So a little sad this is their last season. I hope it ends on a real high note. Yeah, sometimes, do you ever do this? Because I sometimes, because I've been burned by some really bad final seasons and some really bad series finales of shows that I loved that started really strong. And then in the last season or in the finale, they just, I was so let down, and so just like it ruined kind of a whole show for me, where when a show does that to me, I usually don't even go back and watch the seasons that I liked anymore, because it just, everything feels tainted by that terrible ending. An example would be Grimm. I loved the TV series Grimm. Grim, like Grimm's fairy tales. And it was kind of a fantastical, but set in modern world. It wasn't like it was set in Portland, and they filmed in the Northwest, and it really looked like Portland. Actually, I think a lot of the outside things, they really, like outbuilding exteriors and things, was really in Portland. And they also went into the woods outside and filmed like in the Oregon coastal woods. And it really, you could tell, it was so absolutely Northwest and so Portland. And I loved it. But I love the stories too. I love that series. And then the last season just started getting, I'm like, some things they did with the characters, and I'm like, oh, maybe they'll like turn it around. And then the finale just was such, I was very, very unhappy with the finale. So now I don't even go back and watch season 1 or 2, because I'm just like, all I can think about is how I hate what happened at the end to the characters, and how I hate what they did to the characters in the final season. The whole final season, I was like, eh? So yeah. So because of that, and a couple of other shows have done that to me too. Grimm is just the first example that came to my head right now. So sometimes now when I really, really, really am enjoying a show, and I'm not sure how many seasons it's going to get, because, they just cancel a lot of my favorite shows. Anyway, so you never know how many seasons you're going to get. And sometimes if the first season or the first 2 seasons are like so great, then sometimes I just quit before it gets bad. And if they announce the final season and they're like, oh, yep, this is the end, and like, I know they're going to end it, I'm like, no, I don't want to see the end. I don't want a bad ending to ruin that wonderful first season or those first 2 great seasons. So yeah, I've started some really great sci-fi shows, and then I just like, oh, I better quit before it goes terrible. Yeah, do you ever do that? Is that just me? Do you ever do that? Like quit on a show because you're afraid it's gonna just go bad and you don't want to see it decline? Yeah. But yeah, I've done that to a lot of sci-fi shows, because those are usually the ones that get the worst endings. I don't know why. I mean, anyway. Yeah. And I don't think I have anything else to talk about today. I think this is going to be a really short episode. Yeah, but I did want to show you my thumb gussets. I actually am recording later in the day because I wanted to work on those thumb gussets and get the stitches on the the stitches separated out. I wanted to show that. So I am recording in the evening. So I wanted to feel like I showed some kind of progress. Anyway, yeah. But I hope your week was really good, and I hope you are doing well and your family and your loved ones are well. And I hope all your creative projects are enjoyable and turning out great. And thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye-bye.